Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Spartan Crew Gaming. Today we are talking about Middle-earth Shadow of War once again. Let's jump into it. So today we got all the DLC news, or more like yesterday we got all the DLC news, but it is extremely exciting. So the first thing I'm going to be going over is when all this DLC is getting released. So our first DLC is the Slaughter Tribe, and that is coming out in November. Then in December we get the Outlaw Tribe. In February we get the Blade of Galadriel DLC, and then in May we get the Desolation of Mordor, which Desolation of Mordor has me the most excited because of all the cool features it's going to be bringing. But first off, let's talk about the Slaughter Tribe. So the Slaughter Tribe is all about being, slaughtering and mean and horrible, and they're all about ambushing as well. So these orcs are more likely to ambush you. They're going to decorate their forts with graug heads and body parts of probably their enemies and animals and all kinds of stuff. And of course, they're going to have legendary orcs and legendary gear that you can collect and, of course, upgrade. And I cannot wait to see what that looks like. I hope it's really cool gear. And that's basically all that they bring to the table. They are integrated directly into the Nemesis system. The Outlaw Tribe is the same way. They are a new tribe. They have a really cool look. They also have this cool chain weapon that they throw. And they also are very much not into serving anyone. They do not like the Dark Lord or the Bright Lord. They're the outcasts of orc society. So basically, I have a feeling they're going to be a little harder to dominate. That is just what I am thinking. That is not confirmed, but since they do not want to serve the Bright Lord or the Dark Lord, maybe they're going to have more iron will, be a little harder to dominate. That's what I'm thinking, at least. Of course, with this tribe pack, you'll be getting legendary gear and legendary orcs as well. And they do look pretty cool. Their forts are really cool looking, and a lot of people, or not a lot of people, they said in the Game Informer Mazagine that they are kind of like a Mad Max tribe. So they're a little crazy, a little out there, and a little bit of the outcasts of orc society. But when it gets really interesting is when we get to the story DLC. First off, we have the Blade of Galadriel, which allows us to play as Zatariel, and we'll be, dual wielding her blades and her bow and arrow. But we're going to be meeting new characters like Flint and Tinder. I do not know if these people are orcs or if they're actually other elves and such. And also another character known as the Slayer of the Dead. And there's also going to be 8 legendary orcs in her story DLC that will transfer over to the main game, and her DLC is all about fighting the Nazgul and some new enemies and stuff, so I'm very excited to see what that means. And of course, when you buy the DLC, or you have the DLC, you'll get a Atariel skin for the main game for Talion, so you can play as Atariel in the main game, which I think is really, really cool. But when it gets really cool and interesting is with the Desolation of Mordor DLC. You're going to be playing as Baranor. We get a new region, Lithlad, the desert region, which I'm super excited about, and I'm just excited to see all the cool new, environments we're going to go to. But when we are in Lithlad, and the story for that, we're going to be hiring mercenaries to help us defend against the orcs in the fortress of Lithlad. But who else is going to help us is the dwarf Torvin from the first game, the guy we hunted Caragors with. He is going to be helping us. He's going to build us a shield, gauntlets, a some kind of like chain hook thing, and a glider. So it sounds like we're going to go full Batman, and I cannot wait to meet Torvin again. This news had me so excited. But what's also really cool is this Desolation of Mordor DLC will be giving us a thing called the Rogue campaign. Basically, I think this goes for the main game. You get to play as a human. You have no wraith powers, no cheating death, no coming back from the dead. You are playing as a human, which is crazy. So maybe when you die as a human, you'll come back as a different human or something. Another YouTuber was saying that could happen. I was like, oh yeah, that might be a good idea. I don't know what's exactly going to happen, but nonetheless, you get to play as a human all by yourself. You do not have any wraith abilities. So this, I hope, means we get like, a sword and a physical bow and arrow, because I've always wanted a physical bow and arrow in these games, and I cannot wait to play as a human without any wraith powers. So I really think the Desolation of Mordor DLC has a lot of potential to be amazing, and not only that, we're getting to meet Torvin again. We're getting this whole new campaign mode and a whole new region. I hope the new region does get transferred over to the main game, because that would be sad if it was only in the DLC. Nonetheless, what has me worried is they said they wanted to support this game with content for about a year and a half, and this content only covers around 9 to 8 months, which leaves them with a few months to give us more content. So hopefully the other content they're going to be giving us will be free content, and we won't have to lay down even more money for the the extra content that they're going to be releasing in the months after this DLC. Are, I don't know. I think they said they wanted to support the game for at least a year and a half. So maybe supporting just means updating and patching it, but I think it also means giving it content. So hopefully the content after this will be, mostly free content. If you wondered why the editing in this video may not be as good, it is because I'm doing it on my laptop. My PC, the CD-ROM drive, began to smoke because the power cable to it was beginning to melt. So I turned off my PC. and I bought a new power supply, which I'm going to be putting in very soon, just in case my power supply is frying my components. Thankfully, the only thing that got fried, or the only thing that was malfunctioning, was the CD-ROM player, which is extremely cheap to replace, and the power supply is not too hard to replace either. So I will be back up and running and getting my streams out and my playthroughs, because I had a playthrough ready to go, and then I smelt that smoke, and I'm like, oh no, that's not good, so I turned off my computer. So I will be back up and running after I replace the power supply and all that stuff. Nonetheless, guys, thank you for watching. I could not do this without you guys, and I could not do it without God. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is your commentator, your friend, Spartan Crew Gaming, signing out. See you in the next episode.